just got picked up. Power got picked up without Kanan existing. And that's why I don't even appear. Exception of the network.
The message is loud even when he speaks quietly. It was no coincidence that you saw an empire. Kanan wasn't even in control initially. The monster was then added. Hollywood continued to act as though they were unaware of him. We Are Running the TV War Tonight is a throwback to the 1950s. The story of how a streetwise man developed a studio machine and then taught the room to appreciate it. The transition from superstars to larger pipelines. And the circumstances are all left out of the accolades. Rather than starting with the TV or radio, start with a blank spot. He explains that when he was originally picked up, Power Kanan, the character that everyone identified with, was not even genuine. He had to maintain his showrunner when the machine later required new equipment. This is the first indication that he approaches TV more methodically and slowly than he does music. We made that stuff later, as if I had to convince Courtney to continue working. Consequently, we built it for over 2 years before it was released. He claims that although he has done television before, not in this manner. Run is unique since he isn't a cameo for influence or a one-time guest appearance. He is creating an engine that makes it possible to time composition, production, and talent. He describes reading the projects while seated in the rooms, then observing how they develop, how the rewrites turn out, how the director evolves, and what makes it beyond the budgetary comments. He then creates a formula that maintains quality using this cycle. It's the only method to actually put your recipe together. You can hear the room opening for him in real time. The networks lean in, the notes become softer, the language shifts from maybe to anything you want, and the doors he used to knock on have just recently begun to swing out. It's not a hoax. Operational trust is what this is. You gain leverage through consistency, delivery, and budgeting. Additionally, he is dispersing it without sound. It is beginning to manifest. You see, it's beginning to open up. The best illustration is the Kanan pivot, for instance. Kanan was not an egotist. It contained a structural element. He developed a character to give those he assisted new chances. The show now has an axis that can expand out into its own universe thanks to the writer's unwavering focus. This is how a universe, spin-offs, and seasons are created. Because of this, a rapper is the most secure option for a showrunner and a studio to use as a shadow partner. In this regard, he differs from the majority of well-known manufacturers. He doesn't have any calls to answer. He's making the call, selling, rearranging, and moving a project if it doesn't fit. This isn't arrogant. It's a procedure. He will do the impossible jobs on time, strengthening or promoting the network's belief. Now, when the phone rings, it doesn't sound like a favor at all. It sounds like a plan that is already functioning, with writers on board, a timeline established, and a fan base ready to binge. He is fed up with the showmanship and maintains a practical tone. Part of it is that, in contrast to other musicians, he views television as a tool for success. To ensure that no one is waiting for inspiration, lanes are created, killers are positioned within them, and traffic flow is preserved. This implies that the spectator might live inside the catalog rather than only visit it, where he is viewed as a solution rather than a boardroom gimmick. The awards are the aspect that many people detest the most. The question, why stand beneath a show's chandeliers if a platform won't stand behind it? Instead of dressing up for a room where his identity is concealed, he would like to continue creating.
Is the reason, like, when stars doesn't get behind a show like that, is that the reason we don't see you at the Emmys and the Golden Globes?
That's why I don't even appear.
Furthermore, the culture is most fragmented here. The audience understands the show is a mainstay, so they quote it like rap and fight over it like sports. A lengthy lunch break is taken by the reviewers. He lays out the disparity without pleading and poses the one question that a TV tycoon should be worried about. Inside the building, where is the presence? He will go where the discussion can result in resources, more seasons, more spin-offs, and more output for the base that actually shows up if the trophies aren't as important as the conversation.
Power just as much.
And you go,
about it.
where is it? And you go, where is it at in the actual?
He has nothing against the status quo. He opposes authorization. Show the gatekeepers a schedule and receipts to see how fast they become partners. Okay, so long as the prizes are given out. Otherwise, The machine continues to ship episodes. The universe continues to expand, and the fans continue to treat Power like Sunday service. He takes pride in that scoreboard. Scale, deliver, and repeat. I'll show up and then create more to keep people on the genuine network. There's a little more straightforward metric below that point. Visibility as well as conversion potential. He wants to know how many people find the show and how frequently they return. A distribution partner could generate noise on a bigger pipe if he is nervous. The adversary finds it more difficult to keep up when a partner leans in and puts more episodes into the lane. That is interpreted by the audience as momentum. The industry considers this to be leverage. He considers it normal. Before you receive a credential, put in the work, safeguard the authors, and start organizing the upcoming season. This indicates that he has already been dealt with, which provides an explanation for why he doesn't appear to be impacted by red carpet politics. Let the prize be the ceremony. He can be expanded upon. Let headlines do the speculating. He'll choose a different time frame. In a field that is largely concerned with aesthetics, he's obstinate when it comes to outcomes. Make sure your pipeline is full. Carry on the discussion in a lively way. Continue supplying food for the base. Everything else may or may not show up. In the morning, the engine will still be there. Power in TV is equivalent to pipe size. Networks already communicate their priorities before a billboard is up, as he discovered early on. This is evident in their financial planning, scheduling, and dealings with reward voters. The public notices your program everywhere when you treat it like oxygen on a platform. It's the same incredible episode when it doesn't. The network considers this to be significant. Thus, it will be positioned. It doesn't make him pout. He's planning it out. It is difficult to miraculously flood the audience with ads if the network doesn't open the taps. However, it tells him something even more significant if he has a crush on a show with minimal effort. The foundation is sturdy enough to support pipes. His calculus alters at this point. He will continue to feed the machine. The platform will keep producing episodes and spin-offs until it is forced to make a decision. Put extra pressure on it or watch him walk it to a larger hose.
So the network is growing at a pace that they're absolutely happy with, as far as stars is concerned.
One can hear the subtext. On the show, the stars appeared larger. The spectacle didn't always seem larger because of the pipeline. Because of this discrepancy, where else can we be seen? Is gradually taking the place of Are We Renewed? He even mentions downstream distribution in a single line, which would allow viewers who never paid for the original channel to watch the series. It's strategy, not shadow. Extend the pipeline for Power on stars that appear on Amazon if the work is sticky. I believe it was, or something. It is a clear result. Greater authority, knowledge, and opportunities. In one building, the same episode that battled for billboards turns into a magnet in another. Furthermore, you are no longer pleading for marketing once you have demonstrated that the audience will follow. Your negotiations are based on evidence. The following season may then become anything you'd like to. When scheduling becomes a duty rather than a favor, it's plumbing, not personal. When he takes calls, he acts in this manner. Don't gripe about the tap. Make your line connection better. Strive for reach rather than the trophy. Don't get high either when the reach occurs. Make it a habitable planet with new seasons and characters. Because a planet can do things that a single hit cannot. It endures changes in the network's tone. Worlds don't create themselves. Because they describe the outcome, he keeps bringing up the same names. A showrunner with good pressure tolerance. An ensemble that feels unstoppable when the action starts and maintains its impact in quiet passages. He is not being flattering when he calls them by name. It is the blueprint.
And that one, Courtney Kemp, the writer, showrunner, she's, she's dope. And it's grown, it's good. Like, I feel good about it. Amari Hardwick, we got a whole crew of people. There's talent.
The machine is that. An hourly lead, a writer general, and a bench deep enough to spin out without losing the plot. He also views music cues as practical rather than ornamental. Music must be employed as a storytelling tool rather than a branding tool. If a scenario requires the soundtrack to speak for a character, Interview 08, 1608, 22. The performer is also aware of the surroundings. When other celebrities sit close to him, you can hear what they have to say. Knowing full well that one's career changes when one is in the universe, I am half serious and half joking. It's not merely a cameo. For fans that treat it like a postseason ball, it's a means of entering a franchise.
Put me on Power, man.
Put me on Power, man.
There you go.
Now we need it.
The globe holding is the cause of such need. The viewer is not tricked when a character leaves and a new one comes in. The customs remain the same even as a new area of the city is brought to life. It's no accident that they are consistent. Staffing is the cause of it. Writers who are able to imitate a voice without truly doing so. Directors who know when to sit on a face and when to cut away. And his producer's math is behind it all. A producer who doesn't hesitate to say one more or move on, ensure the safety of those who deliver. Keep them going and offer structures that make it easier to replicate sensible decisions. Kanan wasn't a cocky person. The framework and axis were designed to provide viewers with an unstoppable adversary, maintain Courtney's employment, and develop plots. You'll have more than simply a show if you do that often enough. It's a studio where you work. He discusses it more like a foreman than a poet. Because blueprints are used to access season 6. Due to plans, actors asked to jump in. Why networks will still collaborate with you even if you don't receive any awards. And why audiences swarm to spin-offs without a trailer outlining the guidelines. Then, instead of changing the discipline, he modifies the tone, utilizing comedy as a strategic move. Same tactic, different speed. Build the engine, pick the pipe, make the room laugh, and expand the planet. He changes lanes without changing engines. Comedy isn't a way to get out of your work. It's another way to manage his reputation and increase his TV time. He talks about pitching A&E a variety program first, as simple as day. There's no mystery about it. It's just another pipeline he chose to build since it broadens his reach and goes beyond what the audience expects from him.
BT, I had sold the variety show to A&E first.
If drama created the cosmos, then comedy warms the room. In his ideal setting, people can unwind. Interviews aren't PR sprints, and sensitive areas can be touched by story twists and gunfire. It is brand insurance as well. The more formats he can command, the harder it is to freeze them out. A&E says yes now, but someone else says yes tomorrow. Opportunities to demonstrate humanity in front of millions of people suddenly fill the calendar. And he goes into great length about why this lane is crucial right now. The standards have been loosened. Previously making networks cringe, sharp edges are now accepted. It's not chaos, but an opening. If you have the timing to stay on the line without getting fired, you can be more charming, funny, and sincere than the next guy who still thinks he's trying out for daytime TV. As a result, they will start doing things that allow us to express ourselves in a way that makes us happy. This is the same playbook as the Criminal Saga, but with gentler clothes. Build the engine, choose the pipe, deliver on schedule, and make it difficult to ignore. It's not because you beg that you show up wherever your audiences want to find you, and you provide them with entertainment. The laugh isn't decoration, it's glue. In addition to restoring a mobile's humanity a unique kind of power, it helps them stay focused between the more intense beats. With comedy, he might also present his situation in a fresh way. A rapper who is unable to perform in a dramatic role in a sketch makes their appearance into a layup. A director who is good at timing but has trouble with combat suddenly seems like a genius. He can experiment without endangering his empire's stability. He has the ability to scale everything that lands, much as he was able to scale Kanan into a universe. As a result, the move is not random. Attention is being integrated vertically. Provide entertainment for the base on Sunday nights. Then give them a reason to come back for something lighter, looser, and faster in the middle of the week. If the public listens, the prizes can stay silent. Ratings also constitute a vote. He is harsh when it comes to the parts of TV that most people never watch. Drama could be art, but delivery is a ledger. He talks about works that take 3 times the budget to get to the same frame. In reality, it was a warning shrug. If you want to control your future, you have to become proficient in arithmetic. If not, it will control you.
They're spending 3 times
Right.
the budget.
For it's not merely a complaint. It serves as a justification for wiser choices. Hire employees who are not only economical but also skilled shooters. Where the audience is interested, make an investment. Where they are not, back off. The idea is not to starve the program, This is to make sure that spending matches the show's actual requirements. Because leverage, not recognition, is used to reward discipline. With heat on the screen and under-budget delivery, every phone call seems different. On TV music, he imposes the same reality. Audiences experience music as an emotion. They are logistical, in his opinion. In many settings, music is what's left over after the big toys are bought, so the sound occasionally seems like an afterthought. Instead of complaining, he brings it up to explain why his concerts seem to have been graded intentionally rather than accidentally.
In the last place in the budget that they actually allocated their finances to getting the music.
Repair isn't romantic. Determine which cues are worthy of being included. Fight for the music as if it were a character, and set the budget early. If the song is a scene partner, the scene is played larger. If the song is a wallpaper, you squandered money. In other places, he uses the same discipline. Take out anything that doesn't motivate the audience. Invest in the components that work rather than letting noise be mistaken for value. The delivery is the other component of this sermon. If you go on dates, the trust gets worse. If you miss them, it won't matter what else you say. He has built a reputation on the first one. Scripts that arrive on schedule. With these dailies, executives may relax. Episodes that clear standard without lawyers altering half of the dialogue. It's not glamorous, but it's the ability to play with the comedy block on one network while extending a criminal narrative on another. This is the right every day that the moguls do. He consistently produces on schedule. The art flourishes within that field rather than existing outside of it. He keeps transforming mechanics into perception. If the numbers show one thing and the billboards show another, trust the numbers and take the right action. He is straightforward about how networks market their chosen ones. Examples of this include the mailers, the sets for your consideration, and the way some programs are given a glossy presentation while others are urged to express gratitude on Thursdays.
It was like, you know, you can see the priorities. Like the networks, you see those things like for your consideration.
I don't even know what that is.
Like inside the different publications or on for your consideration, like that.
For this reason, he refuses to measure himself against someone else's pamphlet. If they won't publish him, he will print himself on channels they don't control in forms they didn't make. He is not allergic to any establishments. He just won't let them be the only reflection. The presence that converts is the only evidence that counts. Viewers sign up as subscribers. Subscribers are generating season renewals. Before the pilot's credits rolled, viewers begged for a spin-off of a character.
And you haven't seen that, but you've seen huge success in numbers.
Numbers aren't everything, but they can't fool you. If the rooms keep filling up and the streams keep rising, the campaign you missed becomes a footnote. You become the product of your own promotion. Paradoxically, the companies you shun start calling. That's the loop. The optics will gradually change to reflect the fact you have already established if you make the task irrefutable. This is why he keeps adding forms, pipes, and nights, to have more venues for the audience to respond yes, instead of seeming occupied. When they do, the posters might not come right away. The show begins on schedule. The TV story isn't mysterious. Build the engine, hire killers, as if your life depended on it, choose the right pipe and deliver. On it. He didn't wait for a panel to knight him. Sold a variety show because laughter attracts more attention than prizes, and kept budgets modest so the art could develop without begging. In time, awards might catch up. They might not. Either way, the world he built still pays dividends with new lanes, renewals, and on-time crowds. That scoreboard is respected by him. If the rooms are full, the rest are comments. He speaks softly, but it's obvious what he intends to say. Don't own the pipes you can master, and keep exporting. The brochures will start to seem like history pages if you do that for a long enough period of time, and the people who are actually viewing them will decide what is significant in real time.